make happen versus let happen. This oblique strategy invites you to look a little bit different as a leader in compared to the widespread way of putting the leader in center and seeing the leader as the hero, the one that makes things happen. What if you look at what things are let happen by leaders, where it's not the leader who actively makes them happen? I think this hero idea of the leader in the extreme would result in what I call the office tada projects. Office tada projects go like that. If you receive a task as a leader, especially a task that depends on people's commitment, people's engagement for the task, once you receive the task, you go into your office and you close the door and you make sure that the door remains closed to the rest of the world. And there now you work on your task, you prepare everything, you make the plans, you make a concept, you try everything out, you think everything through until you're very, very convinced of your plan that now includes all the details. You have made that. And that's the first time when you open the office door again, you go out into the world and say, ta-da! And then you're very surprised that people are not as enthusiastic as you are for this wonderful plan, because they haven't been part of it. They haven't shown or developed their engagement over time. Now compare that make happen idea in the extreme to another thing that I've observed recently, where in a context where we are a group of people working on similar projects in various parts of an organization. And we need some degree of coordination, but also a lot of learning. What works well in certain parts should maybe be transferred in others. And maybe also some overall questions should be dealt with as a consequence of this exchange and these meetings that we have between us in our group. And I've observed especially one person who doesn't take too much center stage there. She observes a lot, I believe, but when she says things, she often states things which are more or less obvious, but she gives them names, she gives them labels that she then repeats later on. She kind of summarizes things that are going on in discussion and puts that back into the system. And as a consequence of that, a lot of players, some of which are very powerful and influential, actually pick this thing up as a perspective, as something that needs to be dealt with, that needs to be done, and they, much more than the person who has brought these words and these perspectives into the conversation, they are actually able to, for example, bring that to the big decision makers or to engage a larger community around that way of thinking. And so the effect is actually, I believe that person is one of the most effective people in the group, but she doesn't take center stage. She creates few conditions to let things then happen and just carefully emphasizes a little bit of the flow that is already there.